the long run. We sometimes hear people say that digitization is so hard, and it's hard for businesses to adapt to the new technologies. So today we are here to address these misconceptions. So I've gathered, or rather we have gathered, some of the industry experts and also academic professionals to discuss in a panel discussion to provide a comprehensive look into the latest technological advancements for the farming industry. So, are you guys ready to, oh sorry. Sorry, I forgot to connect to the internet. And we are working closely with Temasek on various other areas, and we are actually promoting EMC as our educational center to drive smart farming technology along with Temasek. So can we do a quick advertisement here? And you can see both are actually yes. So I'll go ahead with my advertisement. Okay. A little bit about IIC. I mentioned this right at the start. So what's the Industrial Innovation Challenge? So for those who have heard of it before, some of you might be aware that the IIC was first held last year, and the top winner actually came from Temasek with their fish farming solution that was commercialized and also used in a local fish farm in Singapore. And for those who are hearing IIC for the first time, this is actually a competition that is held and sponsored by 4 parties: IIC Software, Stratus, and IIE Computer Society. So the participants will get to apply their skills to solve real-world industry problems, and this is a unique opportunity for them to develop their experience or being mentored and supported through the entire competition by expert leaders. So, how does it relate to today's forum? From forums to competition. From today's forum, we hope to listen to what are the problems that the industry is facing, and then we translate all this into problem statements for our participants to do their competition. So feel free to let us know what are your challenges, participate in and let us know by scanning the Slido deck to participate in the Q&A, so you don't have to put your name in, so we don't know who you are. Ask the most difficult questions and challenge our panelists. Okay, so if you guys are interested in the competition, scan and register now to participate in the competition. You get to win attractive prizes, you get to get in touch with all the industry players, and also you get to commercialize your solution. We will help you to commercialize and bring the customer to you. So, without further ado, I will actually pass on to my colleague, Ms. Sabrina, to do her keynote presentation. Sabrina, please.
this 15 minutes, it will cover 3 points. The first one is about what is the technology we can provide. Because later on we are going to do the panel discussion, and during this panel discussion we will discuss about the window farm project we did. Yeah, so the first one we're going to cover is what is the technology we use behind that. This is the first part. And the second part, because earlier Angela already mentioned that the IIC, so far as I know, some of the attendees over here are interested in register and join the competition. So some of you might be interested to know what will be the options, what will be the software we can provide. So this is the some part I'll cover for the second one. And the third one is the tool we're going to provide. What are the capabilities for all these tools? Yeah, so for this keynote 15 minutes, it will be covered with 3 key points. The first one is the technology behind that, and the second part is what will be the product, what will be the tools you can get from here, and the third part is the capability for all these tools. Okay. Okay, so for the technology, because all the project we implemented to our customer, our focus, I think all of you see that is from Aviva. Aviva is the worldwide leading Industrial 4.0 solution and software provider. Yeah, so from Aviva, they can provide from edge to enterprise to cloud. Yeah, so all this will be covered. So you can see over here from the plant wide by the asset, you can collect the data from the equipment directly. Yeah, so it will be the Aviva Edge product in InTouch. But when it comes to the line monitoring or the plant monitoring or if the multi-site, then it will come to the system platform. Yeah, and because now most of the customers they might consider about the cloud-based technology. So this is another idea, is the Aviva Connect. And this one is to provide the cloud-based technology. So this is the overall architecture from Aviva. So meaning that all the tools we are going to provide will include all this. So it will be your options in the future. If you just want to connect one asset, connect one equipment, yes, you have the Aviva Edge or InTouch for the line. But if you are going to do the plant-wide or the bigger template and have much more scalability, then you can select this one. But if you want to go up to the cloud-based, you also have another option. So furthermore, I go to jump much more on this. So the first one is Aviva Edge. So over here you can see that from the devices part, from the equipment part, you can access any data through the network and protocol. The good thing is for Aviva Edge, it's already support 250 communication driver. It's already in there. So it can direct directly and interact with any devices. And over here in Aviva Edge, you can do the easy configuration and sustainable and collaborative and cost effective. So this is the first one, the smaller size option. And then some of you might think about, but in my project or in my competition I want to join, I want to scale up. I want to do the much bigger size, like the wider space or plan size project. You can decide about this. But you don't need to worry about you need to do that again, because all this will be on top of Aviva Edge. So you can scale up based on what you already did before. Yeah, and you can go up to the startup, go up to the system platform. And first thing is it can be seamless integrated development environment. This is the first thing. And the second thing is in the system platform, it can support for industrial graphics and Galaxy repository. And the third thing is automatic point mapping. And the fourth thing is about the event-driven communication. Yeah, and it can support VTQ because normally it just most of the time it's only value, but the system platform is already support the basic three type: value, time, and quantity. All this will be supported. And then it can also synchronize the long status. And also, in system platform, it already comes with the historian, which can store lots of data, lots of real-time data. And also for this one, and also remote management and deployment, easily remote and management. And then last but not least is also the protocol communication driver, this part. So you can see over here, as I mentioned, if in your project, you are going to do or the competition you want to join. This will be the basic part from the edge to the enterprise, from asset or from the each equipment, and you can scale up to line and to site to multi-site. Okay. And for the market vertical, the Aviva the overall template already been proven in vertical market. For example, like oil and gas, like food and beverage, automotive, and also warehouse and all this water and wastewater and power plant, all this already proven. So you don't need to worry about, of course, today's topic is about smart farming. Yeah, but this product, this technology, this template is not limited to each industry. Okay, so I think some of you might curious about what will be the next. I mean, after you collect all the data, you already have the data, but how can you do all this? Yeah, what will be the next one? So what is the extension? So I think some of you might think about, some of the customers, they are thinking about link to the map, to the Google map, and also do the vision, do the dashboard, and also so on and so on. All this will be connected and also be provided. So this is also one of the use case, one of the real use case. After you collect all the data, and how are you going to present and showcase to the customer? So this is the UOC, we call Unified Operations Center. What is the beauty of this? Because earlier what we mentioned is only one plan or multi-plan, but just imagine that for each project, you might have some other subsystem, and you need to integrate together. But how can the management, higher management, they can just sit over there and get all the data from here. So this is the Unified Operations Center can provide. It can link up the information from the plan, and also can link up the information from the pumping system or all the plant information or MES or any other information they want to integrate. And this is another idea. It's also the same template. Yeah, this is also quite common for the CCP integration. And this is also one of the subsystem I mentioned. Is also quite common. They can also integrate with this kind of system and upload in our system and showcase together. And this is it's much more used for the engineering part with 3D integration and some of the chart and in the plan. So earlier I already mentioned about the edge and the system platform, but I also mentioned that nowadays there are some customers they want to go to the cloud, and after they go to the cloud, they also want to do some analysis. What will be our option over here? So in this page, Aviva's cloud-based solution is called Aviva Connect. Yeah. So over here, because in Aviva Connect, we separate into 3 parts from engineering, operation, and performance. Yeah. But in the cloud-based, especially for integration and performance, we focus on the asset and the operation control, and also the supply chain performance, and also the asset performance management. All this will be covered in the in Aviva Insight. This is a cloud-based solution over here. So over here, what you can get from here, it is just a browser. So all the data you connected from there, you can just type the browser, just open up the browser, and you can connect anywhere and anytime. And this is just an example. So of course there's a navigation backdrops over here, and then also the asset name and namespace, and also the asset detail information and asset location. So just remember that for Aviva's template and technology, we focus on just to collect the data, and all this information are coming from the asset, each asset. And after collecting this data, and what you can do is also you can do the predictive analysis. So this is the first part I want to cover based on Aviva technology and template. Yeah, connect the data from the equipment, from the asset, and then link up to the line and go to the plan and multi-site, and also can integrate with some other subsystem, and then go out to unified operation center. This will be the whole package. And if you want to do the mobility, you can also go out to the cloud base. So this is the Aviva technology behind that. This is the what later on during this panel discussion they will discuss about the indoor farm and what is the smart farming system, the technology using behind that. And this is also part of the tools. If any of you are interested in the completion, and we will provide. And some of you might think about that. This is only software, but if only software, then it's very important you need to have the hardware or server, especially the reliable server, to support that. What would be the option we have? What would be the option we have? So over here, this is what I mentioned earlier already, the laptop. Yeah, and where can I install? Of course, I can install in the normal server, but some of the customers, because especially this kind of tech-wise, what they care about most is it's a proven and also the reliable server. Yeah. So for this one, behind the technology, we work with Stratus. Why? There are three main reasons. Yeah. The first reason is it's a proven technology can integrate and run Aviva solution. This is the first reason. And the second reason is this is the product can eliminate the breadth of unplanned downtime. This is the second reason. And the third reason, I think some of you, especially if you already heard Stratus before, you might know that it's a proven technology that they can provide greater than 5 nines uptime, 99.999% uptime. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about if there's any data losses without any server or hardware support. So this is the hardware support. What is the hardware support? The software, the Aviva solution I mentioned earlier. And in the hardware part, we also have different options because as I mentioned, the Aviva part, we have the age, we have the tech-wise, and for hardware will be the same. If you're only looking for the asset or equipment, you can just choose the middle one. This is just the equipment part, and you can support. There's an option to support the high availability and also the fault tolerance. But if it's a fan-wide, then you can choose this one, active server. And this one is you can use the normal server and use the software and do the configuration and do the same thing as well. Okay, so I think time's up. Yeah, and okay, so this is all the information I want to provide you. What is the technology behind that, and what will be the option, the hardware and the software we can deliver. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you.
Industry in Singapore are using advanced technologies. What do you guys think? If you have scanned the Slido once, I think you can just go back to your Chrome page or Safari, whichever you're using, and you can just enter the answer. Okay, seems like it's a 50-50. So let's get an answer on this from our panelists today. So now I shall invite our 5 panelists to take a step forward and take a seat here. So at any time, you all can use your Slido to just key all the questions we have for our panelists. So thank you, panelists. Now I shall hand over the mic to Dr. Sarah to kickstart the panel discussion.
Innovators and mostly on indoor vertical urban farming systems, and could you please share with us like what are the challenges you have faced, and that has driven you to adopt the technologies to achieve this success?
Then we indoor, so we do have air conditioning system to maintain the temperature, because the heat from the LED does produce quite a lot of heat. Also, we help the farmer to keep track of the vegetable they're growing. For example, like we have like 5,000 racks. So how to know, or how to even know whether a certain tray is empty up there, so high up there, so we won't be able to know. So we have a system to keep track of all the growth activity of every individual cell, the growth cell. So when they plant, they will know that when it's planted and when will this vegetable be ready for harvest. So in this case, they will be able to make predictions, or not say predictions, but exactly when I can produce how much tonnage of vegetable. So these are the kind of systems that are currently in place in this so-called high-tech indoor farm. By the way, this is one of the largest indoor farm currently in Singapore. Right? So again, I would like to invite you to go and see. If you have further questions later, you can just ask me more about it.
Maybe I can add on.
Sure.
So, number one, the whole fund generates about 50 over 1,000 data points. 50 over 1,000 data points. So, for a normal operator, they can't even handle more than 100 data points. So, now we are talking about 50 over 1,000 data points from all the cells that the plants are being planted, okay, and the operations. So that's number one. So without the technologies, right, there will be no such productivities, no operations, right, that is possible just only using human, right? Second, right, the whole plant has to be run, okay, with limited man resources, okay. So as all you know, right, the resources is one of the key concerns, right? Let's alone that you want to get the trained resource, trained operator to run the farm. So you basically have to use the technology to help you to run all these operations. All right. So without the technologies, basically you would not know when is the harvest day, what is the recipe, the right recipe for the plant. Okay, so all this information you need a technology to help you to manage all these operations. Alright? So that is the reason why the technology is helped over here. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the insights. Actually, some questions are coming in, but I also have some that I want to hear.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm coming from the competition perspective. For the student sake, one of the important things, just like you mentioned, you heard Mr. Peter mention quite a lot of data collections, information. It's one of the very key important things, right? So what you do at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, if you go to have the competition, you have visualization tools. Like just now, Michelle saw Aviva H. So, there are just as GK has mentioned, there are 50,000 data points. So, how are you going to visualize it? How are you going to use a SCADA system like Aviva H or their system to be able to display some of this information? Because of the day, again, overcome challenge, communication between people. What you understand by what this data means versus what the farmer at the end of the day require for the data is important. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if it's just raw data, it's useless for everyone. You need to have something that's significant. I need it at the point in time, I see this is a red alert. I go to the actual point, and service what is needed precisely, right? Rather than, it also applies to industry, right? So at the end of the day, whatever you translated, you need to translate to the industry, to end user. If I see a red alert, what does it mean by green? What do you mean by amber? What do you mean by red? That's very important. Now, it's not just this, it's a gear system, you have a number, what does all these things mean? Okay, and thank you very much.
Yeah, just one clarification on all the solutions you all looked at. Because I was at tech and collecting electronics all is fine. But how is the OpEx in terms of energy, the cost of running the facility? Does it really contribute to the ROI for growing vegetables?
Sorry, what's the question?
The energy cost, how do you manage it?
Okay. So, sustainability in terms of energy, that is a key concern. Right? It's in fact the problem that we are having in North Farm today. Okay. It's in fact the problem that we have in North Farm today is the energy cost, the resources cost, the water, the power, and so on and so forth. So today we are basically doing digitization of all these data, all this energy consumption. Going forward, we will also use some of this artificial intelligence optimizations to look into how we can optimize some of the energy. Right? It's in fact because of the special, like what Peter mentioned, special LED requirement. One LED consumption, I think, 20 watt, alright, 20 watt for one LED. So you multiply that by 350 racks, and 350 racks, each rack has 14 different levels. Each level has 4 LED. Can you go and multiply that out? That is a lot of energy, alright? So that is, yes, today we have not do any optimizations yet, but going forward with all the big data that we capture from the operation just started. We are in the data collection stage. We are digitizing all this data. So after a few months of digitization with all this big data on the energy consumption, we can analyze the data pattern. We can analyze some of the consumption behavior. Then from there, we can apply some algorithm to optimize on the energy to make it more sustainable. Alright?
Maybe I say a few add-on to that. Also along here, I can see a question of what kind of monitoring parameters or things that we monitor. Okay, first of all, the design of the system is such that not a single drop of water will be wasted. So what we do is we pump the water up to all the racks, and the racks will actually maintain a certain level of water for the supply to cater for the plant for the one day. Excessive waters are being drained down, and in the bottom layer we have a tank that will actually collect the water, so we don't waste the water. So we collect back the water, and for the next day we will top up this tank again to be reused. So in this case, we use very minimum water, which is just enough for the plant. Okay, so that's point number one. Point number two is that we know that of course energy bill is expensive, and so what we do is in the farm right now, we're currently running the farm, half the farm in the day and half the farm in the night. So there must be a reason why we're doing so. Number one is when we're running the farm in the day, the oxygen that is being produced by half the plant is actually supplied to the other half, right? To the other half. So in this case, it's like, in the day, this part of the farm is supplying oxygen to the other half, and when we switch over on the other half, it will supply to this half. So in terms of running the electricity, this has a bit of reduction because we don't have to run waste the power, right? So we have reduced the energy by half by running the electricity for the aircon. So this is the second point. So in the point of what do we monitor? So we monitor every aspect of the farm, from the production of the nutrients, like what is the EC level, how much water level, and how many times we have irrigated into the system. To every point in the lighting system, like for example, if we run the light, we have now about probably over 20,000 cubes of LED. So to be able to see or to gauge whether the LED is damaged is a bit crazy. So what we do is when we run the system, we will try to detect the amount of electricity that the light uses, and if it uses less than the usual, then something is not right. So we then have to check and see, okay, this is maybe damaged or something like that. So with this, currently that is in place, we will be able to actually control the system the way we want to run it. If we run it by human, it's quite torturous, because every cell can be running different type of lighting pattern. For example, this vegetable could be like 10 hours a day, another one might be 11 or 12 or something. So these are all automated process, right? So that will help actually to reduce the number of manpower needed to run the farm. In fact, when the farm is running, I like to look at the system that we do. So remotely from my home, actually I can see what is up in the farm. And sometimes when I see something wrong, I will actually notify them and say, hey, nighttime they don't even have somebody there. I say, nighttime I will monitor it from my home. I will inform the guy, hey, something is wrong. Please go and check it. Right? So in the farm, we are using the Aviva system that is in the control room. So this Aviva platform shows every aspect of the farm operation. Like today, how much we can harvest. Right, so we can see this harvest the information, and also the control system. Is there anything wrong with it?
Thank you very much. Maybe now I go for one general question. What are the biggest challenges in the agri-tech and aquaculture industry in Singapore, and is it purely for technology related, or is it like profitability?
Thank you very much. So speaking to farms, we noticed that access to technology is not an issue in Singapore. Not only are we very active in promoting this amongst different stakeholders in the ecosystem, we've also got IPI Singapore, we've also got Enterprise Singapore that's putting a lot of effort into this. Profitability, and everyone will agree. But that is again contributed by multiple factors. And I just want to add on to what the other gentlemen were talking about in terms of energy cost. Speaking about agriculture, if we talk about indoor farming of crops, maintaining a lower temperature does help us to cultivate crops that are of higher values. In fact, at our Center of Innovation in Complementary Health Products, we are working together with another center called Crops, looking into how we could grow valuable herbs, valuable Chinese medicine indoors. But what I wanted to share was something I saw in Japan. They were looking at disused tunnels that were about 3 stories underground. And with every story, the temperature actually drops by 1 degree. So when I came back, I went to talk to SFA, friends at BCA, to find out where in Singapore might we find such underground tunnels. There are, but not accessible. Then again, there are organizations where the business actually requires them to operate several stories underground. One of them is Singapore District Cooling. So some of you who have visited SDC and see how they generate electricity by freezing and defreezing water, will notice that they are actually located 6 stories under. It's rather spacious underground, and at one time the previous MD who was in charge was also looking at how they could maximize space by growing some vegetables. So I'm just throwing ideas, throwing possibilities, instead of just looking at how much more per unit, per square unit in terms of energy cost can we reduce. Maybe we have to think very much out of the box. And I'm not sure if we have a representative from the Smart Aquaculture Farm ACE. Anyone from ACE? Hi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Jamie here, I'm just representing.
Thank you so much. Jamie, what are you in charge of at ACE? Everything. Why I brought up ACE is because they are considered the Lamborghinis of floating farms for aquaculture. And that kind of investment, if you were to have the opportunity to visit their farm, you can talk to them about how technology is actually helping to lower costs and bring in the ROI. Sometimes R&D technology is a form of investment where you do not see short-term benefits. Yeah, but if you're going for the long haul, then it will make sense to do a lot of such investments.
Maybe just to add, electricity cost is not one of our key considerations because our whole farm is on solar.
Yes, your whole farm is on solar, so electricity cost is not an issue for you. So in terms of business cost, which should be the largest component? Manpower. And I noticed that your farm is already very lean. You don't need a lot of head counts around because it's rather high tech.
I mean, moving forward, right? I mean, if you want to see things as a whole, we want to have basically food security. We also want to have job security for our fellow men. I mean, as a Singaporean, I think you must be patriotic. So the only way you can happen is when your manpower investment is not very reliant on foreign labor. But how can you do that? With rising costs, it also means that each and every labor that you have must be highly skilled. So your technology must come in whereby the mundane and manual things can be less reliant and you have actual good people on the farm. Like for example, like I said, my general manager says that he's just a general worker. So likewise, like for example, I call myself a fish farmer, but I actually have a master's in IT management and I'm also a food technologist by training. So each and every one of us actually has a certain caliber to move things forward. So at the end of the day, right, our vision is to reduce the amount of manpower, foreign manpower, and low-class labor. So that's the vision that we have.
Thank you very much for sharing. For those who might not have heard it very clearly, what ACE does in terms of recruitment is they look for multi-talented people. So not one person who is within a narrow domain, but someone who can contribute across several domains. So I'll pause here.
Thank you. Maybe that's another question. We talk about IoT solutions, predictive analytics solutions available from different sources in Alibaba now, this platform, which can come up with a dashboard for customers for each farm, and which will have some time-sensitive inputs of the farm, the feed they use, the way they farm the species, and maybe the type of species, and the water quality management part, feed management part, manpower management, energy management, all this is not captured as a data. And what happens to the data security? This is one aspect which was mentioned also. When more of this IoT is coming in for creating dashboard for farms, and it's not just one farm, hundreds of farms. And sometimes farms are sensitive to share data with each other. And now how this data security is maintained inside the space when we come up with this predictive analytics.
Okay, I'm also basically one of the cybersecurity guys. So, if you go from the perspective of data security, which is important, also probably that because Singapore we also talk about PDPC, Personal Data Protection Act, where does the food goes to and all these things. They are some of these technology available in some of the things actually involved in the product itself. So take for example, and let's go back to Aviva itself. Okay, so there's a MQTT protocol that you use. That's typically the thing. If you start using Aviva, things you need to understand what's Industry 4.0, what is MQTT. Basically, it's the protocol that transmits in and out. Of course, MQTT by itself, it does not come default. It doesn't come with security. You need to add in the necessary cyber security systems that comes with it. It has cyber security systems comes with it, like the certificates that actually encrypt all the necessary data. Okay, so then for transmission from to a point for one sharing of information from one point to another point is also possible. Today with today's technology is possible. That's why we are trying to have this competition to train students and be able to, first of all, very importantly I mentioned, communicate to farmers. That's one of the questions was zero knowledge. Okay, be able to communicate. IHL communicate to farmers how to gather all this important information from them. Right? Next thing is to do the necessary transmission. When we talk about security, we talk about CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and then availability. Right? Industry availability is very important. We need to be able to use it because it doesn't run, it's useless. Right? Then we have integrity and encryption, basic confidentiality. We do all the necessary encryption. So the key, such as MQTT, if you use Aviva product, it comes with this, right? That allows you to do all the necessary encryption, be able to send the data safely over. Okay. Of course, we have the screen, they need to be able to log in to the screen. So the login screen, the username, password. So we will have things such as this. So the design element will come with a username, password, and all this sort of stuff. Because we don't have username, we have no authentication, we don't know who logged in, who is using it. Okay? And these are some of the basic stuff. Because a lot of old systems, they only have password, it doesn't have username. You don't know who logs in. Okay? Yeah.
There's another interesting question here.
Thank you. So, regards to the questions on challenge faced by the farmer in Singapore, the first question is zero knowledge on Industry 4.0. Alright, not just only farmers do not understand Industry 4.0. I have to say that a lot of people do not understand Industry 4.0, okay, including myself. Even I'm a technologist, I offer some of all these solutions. Alright, the thing is that you don't need to understand Industry 4.0 to start using the technologies. Right? It's everywhere. The use case is everywhere. It's just that what is the pain statement? What is the problem statement today? What is the pain? What is the problem that you're trying to solve? So in the case of indoor farm or even agriculture, how do you improve on your operations? Just now, very good sharing, right? The operation cost because of untrained operator, because it's difficult to get people with the right knowledge, right? So, and just now we talk about energy cost. So it's in fact, these are all the problem statements that what Industry 4.0 is trying to solve for you. Alright? So if you would like to see how the industry handle all these problems, then number one, that is what we say in the industry, you do it from bottoms up. What do you mean by bottoms up? Number one, bottoms up means you get the data from the ground first. You digitize the data, you understand what is going on in your operation. You understand what is going on in your farm, in your factory, in anything that you are trying to manage. So you understand it by correcting the data. You understand it by digitize the data. So it's in fact, that is not Industry 4.0. Digitization started even in Industry 2.0, automation. Right? So once you digitize all this data, you turn the data into information. Alright, that's the second step. The information will tell you how good, how bad that your operation environment is. How good, how bad is your efficiency. How much is your power consumption. That is the second step. To turn the data into information. And the third step is, so that the second step is what we call analysis, data analysis. The third step is, you based on all this data, you try to improve, you try to optimize. Right? If your power consumption is high, you shift the pattern of your operations. Right? So if the efficiency of the machine is low, you look into more maintenance into the machines. Right? So that is the third step. So all these things has been practiced all the time. It can be applied to indoor farm as well. Then the last step is the intelligence step. Now instead of human make decision, how do you improve? You leave it to the machines, you leave it to the programs to make that decisions for you, to suggest the step for you. So this 4-step add-on, it must be 4.0. Alright, so in a way, this is a logical evolution of how people is, how the medical operation is evolving. Alright, so for the farmer, alright, you basically also adapt the same approach, which is bottoms-up approach. You must understand what is going on in your operation before you can talk about optimization, before you can talk about being smart for your plant. Okay? So that is what responds to the first questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the insights on Industry 4.0. Here is another important questions that we would like to discuss. Even though technology is important, for the productivity or yield, it always comes with a cost. And number two, is there any way that the farm can subsidize the cost of increasing the adoption of technology? Because so far, we talk about technologies available for quite some years already, but when you look into the adoption rate by the farms, it's not that much. One is the awareness, second is the cost. And right now we have many solutions in the way seed funding, support from SFA. There are different types of funding paths on upgrading the technology, capability upgrading, and then investigating and innovative solutions. So there are different categories of funding which I think the center supports up to 70%. And they can use this opportunity to adopt technology in the farms. And even with the enterprise support, they also have productivity solutions and a few more which farms also can add on for innovation and capability building. And the more important is, as I said, for most of the farms, until they see some benefit, some with their eyes, they won't believe what we say. We talk about all technologies, but that means finally is the yield and production. This is happening around. So we always encourage to test that FOC, let them see, let them feel what technology we're talking about and how it is benefiting them. And this could possibly be a way to enhance, penetrate the farms for adoption, higher adoption rate in the future. And I think definitely the technology solutions, even though the cost is high for some of these, maybe once they scale up, maybe the cost will go down as for every new technology that comes in. And for all this data collection, analytics, another option we need to do, just like we do for all indoor equipments, we call annual maintenance contract to maintain proper functionality. But when it comes to outdoor, there is another challenge because the environment is not in your control. Right? So how frequent you need to maintain your hardware to give the proper data points, otherwise it will screw up. Sometimes continuous monitoring is important. day and night times because of platonic blooms coming in, and always algae is there, and how much is nominal for the farming species. It has to be optimized because daytime everything is normal, but sometimes it is discontinuous during, let's say morning one time, evening one time, next day morning. If the discontinuous at a point, you won't get this picture clearly because it happens late in the night and early in the morning. So if you skip this point, maybe it will be very essential to tell you something. There are frequent acute stresses happening in the farm which accumulates into your crop disorder that comes with the sudden spoil or institutions. And I think from that perspective, technology adoption will become very handy. Is the cost, as I mentioned, take government support to minimize or offset up to 80%, ESG gives up to 80%, depending upon the type of grant that you go for, and SFA up to 70% subsidy.
So if you don't know where to go, how to get started, feel free to contact any one of us here. We're really trying to start an ecosystem here, so it's no wrong door. We will try to get you there and not limited to the ISDN, of course. I wanted to share one latest player in the market in Singapore. This is IGS, Intelligent Growth Solutions, a company from Scotland. They have incorporated an office in Singapore, and what they have on offer is actually to tap sunlight. So we talk about LED light for intensive growing of crops. They actually tap sunlight because they have a technology where they can set up for you. They started off with a minimum power height of 9 meters outdoors in a controlled environment. So simplistically, you can imagine moving an indoor vertical farm outdoor with a transparent kind of casing over it. So in the day you can tap sunlight, and in the night you diminish the LED. So that really kind of cuts the cost by half. They also automated it so that harvest doesn't require manpower. They were talking to me about the cooling system, and we are working with them, hoping to set up a demo set over on TV campus itself. So I think technologies are there, vendors are there. Come and speak to any one of us. We will try to help you get there.
We have another question talking about rooftop farming in Singapore. Because we talk about basement car parks possibilities, whether rooftop farming will lower the cost of farming.
Sorry? Rooftop farming.
Whether it will cost us
I don't know. Seriously, I think it will. I'm looking at another question, more relates to the example. Right, technology is important, and the cost of adopting technology to produce cheaper and better produce. Alright, let me put one example in SG. I'm looking at that. Alright, I think all you know new water, right? New water, right? So new water was started in actually a way many years ago, where this gentleman called Harisia, which is currently the CIO for PUE. So he started, going to US, study the technology, and then he brought in to Singapore, and then he set up, the government tried the things in the Bedok water plant, and subsequently in 2006 or 2007, the National Day, all of us had a bottle of new water, right? Correct? So the cost of producing that was tremendously high, right? So, anyone of you heard about Project Nexus? It was. Project Nexus is a continuation, a new generation of how to produce, a more cost-effective new water, or water treatment, and become more sustainable. So Project Nexus has a base concept of waste to energy. So in a way, the energy that is generated from water treatment, okay, is regenerated for generations of power. Alright? So when you treat the waters, there will be some waste, right? Some waste energy. And how to recycle this waste energy back to regenerate the power. So the whole process can be a lot more sustainable. By the way, project nexus is dissemination, there are multiple plants inside there, right? So this is a way that to make the whole process a lot more sustainable, a lot more cost effective. I was thinking maybe indoor farm, indoor agriculture, alright, it can be taking the same concept, waste to energy type of concept. Alright, so even including the rooftop type of planting. Okay, it can be a lot more creative. With today's technology, people can be a lot more creative. Process can be a lot more creative. Alright, that's what we are trying to do here. Okay, and that's what the technologies like us is trying to do here. Okay, which is to be more creative using the technology, looking into the sustainability part of it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe I would like to add on to this. I think we have challenges whether we are growing vegetables indoor or even outdoor, like on the rooftop of the car park. I think the challenge, there are few. I think if you grow vegetables on top of the car park, I think number one you are facing is you are exposed to the environment, right? So, and I think one of the factors that farmers are always afraid of is insects. Attacking your vegetable and eating them up. I think the second is, of course, when you are going outdoor, you can't control the environment. So let's say, for example, if it's raining, then you don't get the light. If it's too hot in the sun, you can't grow many types of vegetables. In fact, a lot more many types of vegetables. So then you start to say, oh, okay, let me net up the whole place, and if I want to control so the amount of light too hot, then I'm trying to build my greenhouse, which is not feasible in Singapore. You build a greenhouse, it's even hotter inside. So end up you will say, oh, then I'm going to build a wall on top of that. Then that's again like you're coming to the indoor scenario. To quantify whether it's more cost saving to plant outdoor or indoor, that is a question that is very difficult to say. I want to put a figure to it because the benefits of growing indoor, for example, it's very predictable. You can predict the amount of vegetables that you plant. You can control the environment of that growth. So, which means that if I want to accelerate the growth, I could have more research into, say, what kind of light is more suitable for the vegetable, what kind of nutrient mix is more suitable, and even the soil or the compost that is used, is that suitable for the plant? So I think with all these factors in, I think the key here is to how to be very productive in that sense, to be able to use the minimum space, to be able to produce the top quality vegetables, and you can sell at a higher price, and that actually reduces your cost. Instead of having to plant outdoor, I got free sunlight. But the sunlight is going to burn your vegetable. It's not that you have sunlight and then it's more productive or it's cheaper, right? So that's not the case. I think if we look at the traditional scene of manufacturing, if labor cost is so cheap, I don't need to buy a machine. Why not we just produce products with humans? Why are we automating the whole process? So I think it comes back to this. So for agricultural or aquacultural scene, we need to move into this direction. So the focus here is on productivity. Anything that I can do to optimize and be more productive, and that is a real question we should ask, right? And not about what is the initial cost of setting up this. I think that productivity will be able to drive sustainability. I think this is the key.
Thank you very much.
So I wanted to add on to that example, successful example of someone who has adopted technology for farming and is now enjoying their ROI. So this company I know of is Natural Farm. I'm not sure if there are any representatives from Natural Farm. Just to share, our school has also collaborated with Natural Farm, and we are putting up an aquaponics farm on our rooftop. So this goes back to what GK was sharing about tapping into the waste that's been generated from one type of farming to go to the next one. So historically, people would tell you that aquaponics gets you nowhere. Either the fishes grow well or the vegetables do, but never grow. So I was very amazed when I saw how successful Natural Farm is with it. And when our learning enterprise, aquaponics learning enterprise is out, I'm welcome all of you to come and take a look. I'm sure Natural Farm would also be happy to be setting it up for new farm owners. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was the comment on rooftop farming and basement car park farming. Like what Peter has spoken about, it's about optimization. We've seen successful rooftop farms like City Ponics, and their vegetables sold at the Fair Price outlet at Ang Mo Kio, always sold out before the afternoon even hits. Organic, they don't face pest problem. There are tricks. How not to face problems of pests as well. The basement car park I thought is a brilliant idea, except that I think most of you noticed basement car parks have very low ceilings. Yeah. So in that case, when you talk about optimizing such a space for indoor farming, the fact that it's below ground, we probably save something on air conditioning, and but the lack of height, we probably have to make do with automation in a horizontal manner. But I think it's still possible, actually quite a good idea.
So yeah, that's what the company are looking at. Just now what the topic is. Okay, come back partially because of the competition also, for the students' sake also. Okay, so one of it is productivity. Right? When you want to communicate to the farmer, end of the day, the farmer, you need to shoot for the part of the design itself. What the Aviva can do is be able to do some form of simulation. Like last year, they did a feeder, so they show a pictorial animation of the feeder. So then the farmer can see, there's the machine that is in operation. So that's one of the features that Aviva can animate and be able to tell that the feeder is in operation or not. So that's very important because at the end of the day, the farmer may not have any information about it. So it's very important that it's visually be able to tell the farmer that is the feeder operate. Stop operating, or even we have some other things, for example, just now some of the water tank systems, where is the water level is. Sometimes it's not just a win or wait, yes or no answer. It is a pictorial animation that helps the farmer and the day. So all these things add up to help in terms of productivity, because at the end of the day, the person, if he's not trained, he will not be able to see that. But if he's trained and be able to see that, immediately can tell, there is a point, there is an issue, or there is a things that need to be fixed, or there's a thing that need to be taken care of. That will actually improve productivity. I'm not going down to the exact things that at the end of the day, how the Aviva product can actually help farmers to do the things. Example, you have insect investigation into the farm itself. So you can see there are some readings there's change. And it should show you, oh, there's a mosquito, there's a what, or there's a chemical process, a change, let's say calcium, or there's some other things. So there are some code that actually can reflect the exact details, and the person can react, the person who actually don't even know through the animation of the Aviva product, for example, the age, be able to do that. If you want for additional training, let's put some advertisements on it. We are actually putting out for more training. We are actually running an AMLJ over in Advanced Manufacturing Center here. Later you take a brochure and take a look. We actually go for advanced training on all these Aviva products.
I'll just touch on a few questions and then leave to members for the discussion. There's a question which says, how can technologies in farming help towards sustainability? I think when we talk about smart farming, the whole basis is driving towards sustainability. And we talk about what is sustainability, it's not just productivity per se. I think it's also responsible farming. That's in fact we're going to achieve the productivity in terms of people. And data analytics is one portion of it, which will monitor, diagnose where the gaps are. But I think in the end, that could be many other solution providers coming into play, integrated into the system in terms of becoming productive and spending toward the less productive. So sometimes we can minimize the use of fertilizers, chemicals, antibiotics. So in a way, responsible way of farming and having a healthy fish or produce and lesser impact on the environment. I think all this talks about the sustainability motion, and I think government is giving the farmers by developing standards, helping them to validate. So we talk about clean and green standard, and we also have the CO2 standard for good agricultural practices, which in a way will slowly hold them into both hands, getting into the technologies adopted and the responsible way of farming practices. Maybe other members to share more on this.
Okay, I think if you look or if you want, or even if you want to think about being a farmer today, it is not feasible anymore to go into the traditional way of farming. You have actually almost no choice if you're thinking of setting up a farm in Singapore. You need to have high tech. It's just like if today you want to become a provision shop, it's not feasible anymore, right? You cannot have the economy of scale. You cannot be like NTUC or the big supermarkets. So come back to farming, it is now impossible to do the traditional method. So you have to use high tech. And due to land scarce space, so we definitely have to go in height, right, to produce. And one of the challenges for this height is like, exposing to sun is a problem because they are on top of each other. So then they'll say, then I have to add light. And then to add light, which means it's going to be indoor, so I have to enclose it, right? So advantage of being enclosing it also means I will not have insects. I produce quality products. I think then we have to say, okay, so if we are going this route, then how can we lower the cost of this production, which is in this business, this is the biggest issue. It's the cost issue, the cost of labor, the cost of electricity, the cost of rent. So if we consider this aspect, then of course we have to look at, to tackle them one by one, if it's rental, then let's see how we can maximize the use of space, right? If it is labor, then how can we then look at a system that do not require a lot of human, right? We can automate whatever process we can automate, we automate it. In fact, we can look at even using robots or mobile robots or whatever to take in place of the humans workers, because who knows, maybe in the near future we have another pandemic and then we have a lockdown again and then this business is going to die because there's no one doing. I think the requirement for indoor or this kind of farm is also because now, like it or not, we are also having trade wars here and there, sanctions here and there, and then certain kind of wars actually will create.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The fire alarm has been activated in the building. We are investigating the situation. Please remain calm and stand by near the speakers for further announcement. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. The fire alarm has been activated in the building. We are investigating the situation. Please remain calm and stand by near the speakers for further announcement. Thank you.
Okay, yes, I will say it. Okay, so back to what I left off. So actually, what we have to do is looking at these various aspects. Then we will investigate in every of this situation and see how we optimize. So that is where we are coming from. From ISDN, we are offering this service, which means we are like a consultant. We work with you. We see which are the areas and how this system can. There are many planting systems, right? Some uses NFT, some uses grow beds, and there are various types. So I think whichever the type, right, we can help you to every level to see how to optimize the system. And also working and partnering with Temasek Poly actually will help to improve this to a further level. I think first of all we try to optimize to have a productive system. On the other hand, we will not be contented with just what we have, because cost will be ever growing. So our productivity has to grow along with the challenges of increase in cost. So which means our yield is very important. The use of technology to investigate, to see better methods of producing higher yields of vegetable in maybe a smaller area and less energy. Maybe to improve the soil, to improve the light efficiency and various different kind of levels. So I think this is the continuous challenge that we need to put in place to be able to have a successful farming in this modern society.
Thank you for sharing. Maybe I also cite an example here, which we also face in the aquaculture industry. When we talk about the water quality issues, we have some technology solutions as well. And we can't go too deep because our strengths here is too shallow or deep-sea farming. And when we come to move on to land, we have another bottleneck, as I said. It's not about the productivity, it's about the environment management. So when we want to do seawater fish farming in land, about how is the discharge going to be? Because our PUB standards won't allow more than 1,000 parts per million of chloride, but your seawater has 19,000 parts per million of chloride. And we're not talking about hundreds of liters, we're talking about tons and tons of water to discharge the sewer. And this would be another challenge, but I think technology solutions are available. It's still expensive at the moment, but with new technologies that's coming on the way, perhaps the cost of treatment, wastewater treatment will be better off. It's just like we have the CO2 stripper and stripper. We can have something like that to have a chloride around removal from the water, spent water. And the same thing goes for maintaining the assessment of solids in the water. And we have to stand in many technologies that we foresee coming up in the future that will help us small challenges in aquatic agriculture industry as well. We foresee new technology developments that are coming.
arrangement now. We do work with some farms to look into valorizing that waste. So, for example, there's a project with the new age fish model. They were gutting the fishes and wondering what to do with the innards and stuff like that. Actually, there's value in this waste. We are working on converting some of them to feed ingredients. Yeah. So there are many ways to make money out of waste. If you would like to explore this, feel free to talk again to anyone of us, and we can put together a project to explore.
I think in terms of the technology-wise, waste, I'm not a person that is from that perspective, but the thing is, as I mentioned just now, some of the things can be aggregated on this Alibaba part. I think the other part of it is the talents, just like you mentioned just now, we need to train the new guys. That's why we are running this competition also, right? Because we are this is open for all the IHLs. So it's meant for all the students, for all the universities, the polytechnics to get involved, right? To provide the necessary manpower. So that's the giving the opportunity for the cross training to be able for people to come in to help in terms of with the farmers to move on to the water technology stuff. That will help to get an effect. That will help part of to clear some of the issues that we have at this moment itself.
So maybe in the interest of time, we'll touch on one last question here. What are the most critical changes that we must make to face the future effectively? I think way moving forward, this technology adoption should be leading the way, and to make it most effectively, this again adoption rate should be increased through awareness, and as many comments like the workforce reluctant to join the industry as a farming industry, maybe we should change the technologies. With all these technology solutions, smart farming coming in, digital analytics, and we don't call it seafood farming, seafood manufacturing sector. So in a way redefined so that they get interested and get catching, and then the way we farm, the farming practice has to be modernized to suit their needs, so that I think we can attract more younger generations to come in to support this productivity in terms of farming industries.
Yes, I know that many in the audience are waiting for the tour, so I'll keep my feedback short. I feel that it's for mindset change. Businesses, especially the SMEs, are very bottom line conscious. So that investment for the future is needed in order for us to be still around in the future.
Yes, I think that's the last part of it. So, yes, the mindset change is important. So, to help, hopefully the technology will help. That's why we are running this competition over here.
Yeah, so thank you very much to all our panelists here for sharing all the expertise and the knowledge. So just would like to inform all of you, actually this forum is actually closed doors. So all the information that is being shared here, please keep it confidential and private to yourself. It's actually for your own knowledge. So please do not share this information out. And if you have taken any photos, please do let us know before you publish it onto the social media. We'll actually share the authorized photos with all of you because you have registered with us, the email. We'll share the photos that we have taken with you guys. So please do not distribute or share any of the photos or videos that you have taken during this session. Due to the confidentiality, because we are sharing some of our knowledge and expertise and will involve some farms that we have done before and also all the solutions. So all these are actually private. So please bear with us and thank you for your understanding for not sharing all this information. Now we'll go for our tour. So if you take a look, you actually have two different colored stickers, one yellow and one red. So for all the yellow stickers, please follow Dr. Yap here for the tour. And for those having the red stickers, please follow Patrick over in the corner for the tour. And after the tour, just feel free to enjoy the refreshments at
Ladies